right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode here. So again, we'll cut into the episode here in a second. And this episode is about tracking your assets. And I've seen these companies periodically. They've come up my LinkedIn feed or a news article or whatever it is. And I've always wanted to kind of talk to them and dive into a little bit more and understand what they do and how it works and why do people buy from them. At first, I thought it was just simply about getting data off vehicles and doing things with it. That's part of it. Part of it has to do with theft protection, just knowing where your things are. I guess I didn't think about the fact that some companies have tens or hundreds of thousands of pieces of equipment all over the place, and it's constantly moving, and they need to know where it is. So just interesting to be able to pick his brain a little bit on that. And we get into a little bit in the sales side of it as well. He's a sales guy. I always love to ask sales questions. I'm always interested to learn how people sell, what's important to them, how their company's structured, because I take those ideas and I learn from them. And I decide, can we try that? Maybe that would work for us. What's it like? And I think anytime you're in business, you got to constantly be able to surround yourself with people where you can ask those questions, understand how they do things, and does it work for them or does it not? So I hope you enjoy the episode. I'll stop my yibber-yabber in here, let you get to it. And again, thank you for watching us here on the DL. All right, welcome everyone back to another episode of the DL. I am your host, Tyler Robertson, the CEO and founder of Diesel Laptops. I love this podcast. I get to talk about all the little things, all the little pieces that touch our business, touch our industry. And I found someone here. I brought a gentleman on with Geoforce, and his name's Nathan Harkey. And Nathan, I just want to, first of all, just thank you for coming on the show here and chatting with us for a couple minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Been looking forward to it.
So Geoforce, like just at a high level, what is Geoforce?
Yeah, so easiest thing, I guess the best way to say it is we track people's stuff. That's the easiest thing to say, especially oil and gas, construction, very rugged environments. That's our specialty. We help you locate trucks, trailers, you name it. That's running around the oil field and construction sites.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know tracking stuff's been around. I see a lot of, you guys obviously have competitors. We all got competitors, right? How did your company get started? And is there any kind of like specific niche that you guys kind of are like, yeah, that's our bread and butter?
Yeah. So Jimmy McLean actually started our company a number of years back now. He was an ex-Schlumberger guy and saw a need to track oil field equipment. Back in those days, and even still to this day, cellular connectivity in the oil and gas space is pretty limited in a number of places, and so really saw a need to track via satellite equipment. So virtually everything that goes offshore these days, equipment-wise, has one of our what we call our GT1. This is kind of our bread and butter, very rugged device. It's what we call a class 1 div 1 zone 0 device, so it can go virtually in any explosive and hazardous environment.
If you don't mind putting that up on camera again, and I'll explain it to the audience a little bit that maybe is on the audio portion. So I don't know, what's that, like 3-4 inches by 4 inches, something like that?
It's and it actually has a rugged stainless steel bezel, but it's about half the size of your iPhone. The device right here that I've got in my hand.
Okay. So literally, I mean, obviously I don't see any cords hanging onto that thing. So it's a battery powered thing that you basically screw or mount into anything. It looks like from that is. Yep. So anytime you see those things, my first thought always goes to like, well, how long does the battery last for? Right? Because I know how long the battery lasts for my phone. Yeah.
So that there has been a lot of trial and error that's gone into this device. You know, there's a lot of things that in our world that you think, oh man, this is a must-have. We've got to do. Our very first iteration, we had field replaceable batteries, and so the device actually opened up, you know, and you were able to. They're obviously very special lithium-ion batteries, but we would send you batteries to replace them. And what we found was people didn't get gaskets put back in place correctly. after years of being out there in, I mean, all types of gunk, things didn't come apart, didn't go back together very well, and had some issues. And because of Geoforce, worked through those issues and really did right by the customer and got to the product that we've got today, which is our GT1. Basically, we've got devices out there right now reporting that have been out there for 6-7 years.
Oh, so, like with the original batteries still?
With the original batteries, yeah. So now it's just a field replaceable device instead of field replaceable batteries. And so,
it makes sense. Is it cellular or is it satellite or both or Bluetooth, Wi-Fi? Like how does that stuff work?
Yeah, so our GT1 is actually satellite. It reports on the Global Star Network, which is a simplex system. So what that means is it will go out. It'll basically send the location out. However many times you program it per day, pretty common is just 2 times a day. And so that's, like I said, that's a lot of equipment, moves and or doesn't, for that matter, in a lot of remote areas. And so that 2 times a day covers a lot of that movement. But so that device in particular is purely satellite. We've recently came out with a new device that we call our GT2. And I've actually got that one here. So it's about the size of your cell phone, your iPhone. It's actually got, as you can see, the solar panel on there. So basically the same device with the solar panel on there. We've got it set up where it could report satellite and cellular, and or just satellite and or just cellular.
So like you mentioned oil field equipment, you guys are putting these things on. Like I'm sorry, and I don't know, I've never worked in an oil field. I just know what I know on TV, right? Which isn't much. So, but isn't that stuff like stationary, never moving? Is it just making sure it doesn't move? Like why, or is this like movable pieces of oil field equipment that's moving all over the place? And you need to know where the heck this stuff ends up.
Yeah. So it's a crazy world out there. Things move more than you think. But at the same time, and I remember back when I started doing this close to 10 years ago, thinking, like, man, this is perfect for the theft market. People have things stole all the time, I'm sure. And that really hasn't ever been our largest ROI and reason for purchase. It's been things are just lost out there. If you've never been out to some of these ranches, I mean, it's insane. Like I've been in South Texas where I didn't know how long it was gonna take me to get out of there. I mean, if I could, I mean, that's it, like you just follow a lease road, and so it's nuts how much stuff is just out there. Over the years, I know where loaders and dozers, you name it, just sit. And everybody tries to figure out who they are. But with mergers and acquisitions and everything else, like things just get forgot about.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine a $1 billion company buying another $1 billion company. And I know we've been over here kind of researching oil and well drilling companies just because we're like, hey, our product fits there. And it was amazing. We go look up like the number of who are the oil operators in Oklahoma or Texas, and you start Googling them, and they don't exist. They got bought up by somebody who got bought up by somebody else. So it seems like there's a lot of that happening. I can imagine the equipment kind of gets thrown to the wind all over the place. And you mentioned the theft thing. I think I just saw a post from you on LinkedIn about a week ago about you guys are like a theft recovery as well.
We did, yeah. It's gotten to be a lot bigger thing today than it was years back. Like I said, I've quickly stopped selling on theft as my biggest selling point years ago. But with the way things are, the market and things, theft has become a lot bigger thing. I think that particular company that I posted about the other day, that was actually in a very residential area. Construction, I mean, it was stolen about 5 a.m, just basically from a street. Somebody was they were replacing some gas lines in a street, and it was just a little mini X. And yeah, somebody came and picked it up, took it to a warehouse, and then it ended up at a flea market. So I would have thought that thing was long gone, was in deep in Mexico by the time that we actually found it. But it was like literally 4 or 5 blocks away, and somebody had it at a flea market trying to sell it.
So we literally have like tens of thousands of these Panasonic Toughbook laptops in the field, and Panasonic has a pretty cool thing in there where we can actually on the BIOS level. So even if the operating system's removed, the hard drive's removed, as soon as that computer gets internet, we can see where it's at and we can lock them down. So we have to pay a monthly fee per laptop. So we only do it in certain circumstances to protect our assets, or customers can pay for it. But yeah, you're right. It's amazing how many times it's like, oh, we lost it, we don't know where it is, and the thing ends up like third hand, like stolen, sold at a pawn shop, went on eBay, Craigslist, whatever, and tracking that asset down. So asset protection, obviously a very big important piece of this. So your devices, you talked about 2 of them. Those both look like mount-on things. Mm-hmm. Do you have the ability to tie into these things are all electronic nowadays, right? Do you have the ability to tie into the data ports or tie into stuff and pull data off and send that to users as well?
We do, yeah. We've got on our vehicle units, most of those plug into the OBD port today. That's back when I first started, they're very just a basic install as far as tying into your constant hot ground and ignition wire, and now everything pretty well plugs into the OBD port, brings in fault codes, displays those type things. Something that you and I definitely talked about last time that we visited, and obviously a huge importance in the maintenance piece of things. And it really it's a matter of how in depth do the customers want to get, how much are they willing to dig in and build maintenance programs and do those type things. So.
No, it's definitely one of the things I was going to hit you up on after the podcast. I was like, hey man, your thing shows codes and data. We have the tools, repair information, and people that can help fix that stuff. Maybe there's a way to work together, right? So, and I think that's really what people are looking for a lot of times and I think companies kind of get stuck in that a lot. I mean, you're a sales guy, right? Like, it's not. You said earlier, you're selling safety, you're selling, tracking. You're not selling the product, you're selling the solution. You're selling the problem. You're selling you the answer to your problem that you have, and that's really what we found out there with devices that get data off vehicles. That's equipment. That's great. But someone's got to watch it. Someone's got to do something with it. Yeah. Someone's got to be able to decipher that and know, like, is this a thing or not?
That's the hardest thing when, especially like you said to start it off. There's now a number of GPS companies out there. We're not the only GPS company out there. Certainly been a number, many more jump into the market over the last few years. But that's always one of the first things that when I'm talking to people, and especially if we're going head to head with other companies, and they get to tell me, well, such and such can do this, they've got this cool feature, they can do that, and it's not being jaded, but it's I've kind of got to bring them to reality at times and say, okay, I love that feature as much as you do. Like, it's really cool, but in your daily use, do you have somebody there that is that's gonna take action on it? We get that, especially on driver safety. People want driver safety scorecards, as far as harsh braking and harsh acceleration and all of these things. And it's so hard to find people in general to work, and so that's what I always say. So are you willing to get rid of somebody if, they don't, meet a certain number, or they have so many harsh, braking events, in a time period, because how hard it is to find a driver.
one of our more experienced salespeople around here. He's been with me since the start. We were at a demo with a customer, right? And the customer asked him some question. And like I knew the answer, but I know he didn't, because he's not like the technical guy. He's like, I'm here to sell this guy something, right? And he just straight up asked him, like the customer asked the question. I don't remember what it was. He looked back at him and goes, "Is that important to you?" I kick him because I'm like, dude, obviously, like I'm thinking like he asked the question. Obviously, it's important to him. And the customer was like, "No, not really. I just wanted to know." He's like, "Well, great. Let's talk about getting you this tool." Like it was like, okay, so I mean that's just sales though, right? Sometimes customers do that. They ask the questions. They really don't care. They're just curious, and you end up going down this wrong loop. So it's always interesting talking to salespeople. So what market? What's the hot market right now? Is it still, you guys still in like is it the well and drilling? Is it something else? Like where are you guys seeing all the action currently?
We do a lot of deal with a lot of rental companies.
Equipment rental companies.
Equipment rental. Yeah, that's there's people that rent and sub-rent equipment, and it's so hard to find equipment. Manless, generators, you name it. It's, what people can get their hands on. And so oftentimes, and that's another kind of a key selling point, is just because you're renting this piece of equipment from X company, they may be sub-renting it from another company because they just don't have enough in their inventory.
Yeah.
And so we've got a number of customers that, like, what we call parent-child accounts. Somebody might be at the very top up here as far as, the actual company, and then they have the ability to go in and show equipment that they have on rent or on lease, or they're using from another company or multiple companies. We have a number of companies that do that.
Yeah, rental companies, those are some of our biggest companies too, right? Like they're just huge, right? Sunbelt Rentals, Herc Rentals, H&E, United Rentals, Equipment Share, all these guys, right? It's just amazing how many assets they have, and they have like one of every brand, make, model. They're like all over the United States. I'm like, I have no idea how you guys even maintain these things, more or less, to figure out where the heck they are and what's happening.
I don't know that they do all the time. I don't know that they do all the time. That's the crazy thing. As big as they are,
Yeah, no, that's a lot of things going on. So, are you guys looking for? Do you guys mainly work with like the medium to larger customers, or do you guys deal with the small guy that's got like, I got 4 pieces of equipment, I need to make sure they're protected, or where's your core customer?
Any and all. We've got from the largest companies in the world down to, like you said, literally 1 or 2 pieces of equipment. We've got people in every major shale play. So that's always been our big focus, has been oil and gas, and especially here in West Texas, there's a number of us here that are running around, and we're very customer centered, very customer focused. Something's broke, we try to have somebody there to take a look at it. So that's kind of one of our key defining points as well, is that customer service.
I'm always curious how companies are set up, right? So like we're mainly, direct to customer. We have like a reseller program we just launched. We do like an affiliate program. Are you guys 100% just direct with customers, or do you guys have like some other distribution streams as well?
No, we've got a reseller channel as well. I would certainly say that we're much heavier in the direct market, but we have some very good resellers as well. We're pretty, I don't even want to say picky or choosy in that, but that's probably the best word. Obviously they're representing you in the field, and so you want to make sure you have the right individuals representing you.
Yeah, we just launched ours, and we have very similar concerns, right? So like, man, this is like our product and our name and our brand, and now these people are going to be talking about it with customers. It's not us. Like, how do we control this, and how do we do that whole thing? And it's been interesting because usually like companies like ours that have been direct, then you try to set up resellers, it can be difficult, because the resellers we've talked to are like, well, why would people buy from me? And I'm always like, Well, why wouldn't they buy from you? Like, I don't have a relationship. I don't know who they are. You're standing in front of them. They're going to pay the same price and shipping and wait longer if they buy from me. There's no reason for them to. So it can be tough though, getting that set up. Where now that we have a couple and they're doing great. Don't get me wrong. But now I'm starting to realize, like, oh man, that's gonna be like a full-time job for someone here, just managing the resellers on that whole part of it.
100%. Yeah, that's without a doubt. Yeah, that can be. I mean, because it's, you know, it's kind of like the telephone game. You know, I mean, especially the further away that you get from, you know, from the source, you know, messages get skewed. You know, like, so those guys might think that they're answering a question correctly, or you know, saying that your product can do this or that. That's because that's what they believe. You know, and so if they don't have somebody that they can turn to and say, hey, is this right? Am I? You know what? I've been telling our guy, you know, our customer that it could do this for the last 6 months, but
it doesn't
don't know that it does.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, we really had that problem in the beginning because, like, I tried this reseller program years ago, and it was like our upper end tools. Well, these upper end tools, I mean, these are, you know, $6,000 to $12,000, and there's a lot of questions people have. And what we found, we had resellers, they were just like, yep, it does it all. And the customer would get it, be like, it doesn't do such and such. Be like, we know, like that person never should have said it. So hopefully this time around, we kind of limited it down to like, here's like 6 products and here's the bullet points on what they do. They don't do anything besides these 6 things. Like, that's all they do. So we're hopefully made it more simple this time around, but I guess time will tell and everything.
Yeah. And it seems like over the years, the best ones that I've seen and dealt with have been resellers that have their own brand and name that they you know, like, they've got a good reputation, a solid reputation for what they do. You know, whether it's selling vehicles, like fleet vehicles, or whatever it might be, like, those have been the best ones because they're also putting their name out there as well. You know, so they've got a highly vested interest in standing behind what they're saying, you know, that the product's going to do, because ultimately it comes back to them as well.
Yeah, so it's almost like an ancillary sale for those guys. Like, they already have a thing going. Well, and since I got you on here, we're talking about sales. I just have another question, because I'm always curious about this one is too. I'm guessing, you know, pre-COVID, everyone's doing face-to-face and doing all those things. How did you guys transition the sales thing during COVID time? Did you guys have to change much, or were people still open to it? And is it back to normal now, or what's it like for you guys?
And oil and gas is from the field level, it was always, you know, very much be, you know, at their yard, go in, talk to them. You know, it's obviously like anything. I mean, trying to go to a corporate office was much harder, almost non-existent. And so, yeah, everything was done, you know, Google Meets, Teams, those type things. For us, it's completely back to normal. You know, it certainly gave people a reason not to see salespeople in person. You know, and me personally, I'm a in-person type guy. Like, I like to see, you know, what they're thinking. You know, you can see it. It's kind of like your guy being there in person and asking, well, was that important to you? You know, it's as much as you can and do a lot of things now, you know, like on Google Meet and things like that. It's still hard to see and read a room.
Yeah, I know it's really tough, man. I was so excited when expos started happening again and visitors started to come back to the office and we could go travel. But here's one thing I'll find super interesting. Pre-COVID, nobody would do a Zoom or a Google Meets, right? Like, that was not a thing at all. Like, it was like conference calls, right? And we're just all voice. Now everyone does Zoom meetings, but no one gets on camera. So I'm like, well, guys, can't we just go back to using the phones then instead of setting up this thing? It's like I sit at my desk here.
That one drives me insane too. I'm like, wait, why are we? Because, you know, oftentimes, like, I'm on the road, and so, you know, like, I'll pull over and you know, get my laptop out and make sure that, you know, even if it's in my truck, like, have my camera on, and then somebody gets on and it's just audio. I'm like, well, I could have done that driving down the road.
I'm the same way, man. I get stuck at my desk all day long with Zoom meetings. So now I'm like, I pop in the earbuds and I just go walk around the trails behind the company here, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm audio only, guys. I know what you look like. I don't need to see you. Like, let's just hammer this thing out. So, yeah, but hey, it's been great to learn everything going on at Geoforce, what you guys do. It's just an interesting industry, right? Because at the end of the day, like especially now with logistics and freight and all the things happening in today's world, you know, especially post COVID and the surges and the lows that we're getting across all the different industries. I got to imagine it's more important than ever what you guys are doing, tracking really, really expensive stuff, because all that expensive stuff got a lot more expensive the last couple of years. All right. Yep. So Nathan, if someone wants to get a hold of you here, your website, you personally, where's the best way to do that?
Either or, you can go to geoforce.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. I do a lot on LinkedIn. But yeah, you can certainly go on our website, ask to get a quote. We've got a really good website there to kind of walk you through the different products and things that we have.
I know you guys have been doing it for a while. I know you got a great product out there. You know, we try to do our research on companies too before we bring them on here and start talking to them about their products. So appreciate everything you guys are doing out there. Definitely filling a need. So for everyone watching, listening, whatever you're doing, thank you very much. Likes, comments, share, subscribes, hate mail, we'll take it all. It makes us all better people at the end of the day. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as we end every episode, it's not just diagnostics, it's diagnostics done right. And you need to track your assets. You got expensive things out there. Protect them. It's like an insurance policy. We'll catch you on the next episode.